Hey y'all, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about vertical video for Instagram stories or reels. If you're new here and this is my first video that you're watching, then welcome. My name is Adrienne. I make tutorials on video editing. Today I'm going to show you how to do vertical video for social media. And I know this can be kind of a big question mark for a lot of people. You know, what are the video sizes? How do I set up my timeline? So I'll go through and answer all of those questions for you in Premiere Pro today. But I do not have any video handy to do this tutorial, so I'll be right back. I have some blueberries that neither one of my children will eat, and so I'm gonna make some blueberry butter, and then we'll use that footage for the tutorial. Okay, we're back, and I have some footage that I'm ready to use. Now, you can film things one of two ways. You could film all of your footage vertical, like say on your phone or something, and I think that's probably the best idea if you are a beginner, because you can see exactly what is in frame with every single shot. The other way you can do this is what I do. It's a little bit more complex, but because most of what I shoot are YouTube videos, and so it is landscape or horizontal video, and then I repurpose it for a platform like Instagram, I have to use the effects tab to scale my work and then reposition it within the frame in order to make it work. The size for Instagram stories or reels is 9:16 or 1080 by 1920, which is the opposite of horizontal or landscape footage, which is 1920 by 1080. I have my project open. I've imported all of my footage that I just shot. You can see that here, but I need to make a new sequence. Go down here to New Item, click Sequence, and you can see here a social tab. Premiere has made several presets for you. How nice is that? Now look, they call each of these portrait instead of vertical, but that's okay. That's what it means. We want to select the one that is 9:16. It's important for you to notice that the default frame rate for this 9:16 sequence is 30 frames per second. If that is not what you shot your footage in, you can go over here to settings and change your frames per second right here at this drop-down menu. If you do decide to change your frame rate here, you can actually come down to the very bottom of this window and click Save Preset, and then you can save something even more specialized for yourself to use in the future. I'll go back over to Sequence Presets, give it a name, and hit OK. Another handy thing that Premiere has done for us is they have created a vertical video workspace. Go up here to the workspaces icon and click on it, and then just click vertical. It looks pretty familiar, you can see. The thing that's really nice about it is the program monitor becomes very long, so it's a lot easier to be able to see what you're working with. Okay, now I want to show you the difference between recording footage that's vertical already and recording footage that is in landscape. This last clip here, I shot vertical. So I'm gonna drop it onto my timeline. Easy peasy. It is there, it is scaled, your subject is in frame. Easy peasy, no problem. Now remember, the rest of the footage that I shot was in landscape. So let's watch what happens when I try to drag one of those clips onto the timeline. I get this warning, clip mismatch warning. This clip does not match the sequence settings. Change the sequence to match the clip settings. Remember, your landscape footage is 1920 by 1080, but your timeline that you just created is the opposite, 1080 by 1920. I have to think about that to make sure I say it correctly. So in this case, we do not want to change the sequence settings. We want it to be a vertical sequence, and then we can adjust the clips to match. I will choose keep existing settings. You can see over here in the program monitor that Premiere just went ahead and auto-rotated this clip, so it doesn't fit. Let me show you what it looks like. Vertical. Obviously that doesn't work. There are black bars on the top here and on the bottom, and the real action is me using an immersion blender in this pot of blueberries, but it's way off to the side. So first, let's scale this clip so that it eliminates the black bars on the top and the bottom. Let's make sure your clip is highlighted in the sequence on the timeline, and then go up here to the Effect Controls tab and open up Scale. And let's just scale it up. And then can double click on it in the program monitor and just move it over to reposition. Something else that you can see, if I move it up, you can see these little dots here, these transform dots. Instead of scaling in the Effect Controls tab, you can double click in the program monitor and use these to resize your footage. Okay, I just pulled down a new clip. It's time to make our rough cut. So this clip is what I'm going to start my sequence with. Let's go through. I like to zoom in on the timeline. I'll make them big. I'm going to scrub along. Let's cut right before I move my hand. We'll cut there. Ripple delete. And then get to see that delicious blueberry butter recipe. So I just went through and did a rough cut. I just used the basic tools that I just showed you to take out all the footage that I didn't want. So let's say that you're done and you're ready to export. Go up here to the Export tab. And you can see that you have all of these options of places where you can export directly to. I usually just do a media file. I'll always give it a name. I'll always send it to a particular location. For a preset, I use Match Source Adaptive High Bitrate, and your format is an H.264. Come down here and click Export. And that's it for me. I hope you learned something from this, or I hope at least it was maybe a confidence booster for those of you who are new to Premiere, but are wanting to use it to edit some of your short form content. And hopefully now you can have more fun with your short form content. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, I hope you'll subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.